Vika is an intelligence-based mage class hero from the Mauler faction who specializes in dealing consistent damage. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at her skills and abilities, her teams and uses, and whether or not it's worth investing in this hero. So let's get into it. Her ultimate ability is 3-in-1. This ability has an active and a passive portion. The first passive portion is that at the start of the battle, she's going to have a gyro sending around, bouncing between enemies, and after it bounces 5 times, it will return back to her and her next normal attack will relaunch the gyro. As for actively using her ultimate ability, she's going to infuse her whip with divine power and apply phantom totem to the gyro. This will create 3 phantom gyros that will deal damage to the enemy with the lowest health. Her next ability is whirlwind whip. For this one, when an enemy approaches her, she's going to knock them to the back of the battlefield, dealing damage and stunning them for 3 seconds, along with dealing damage to each enemy along the path. On top of that, while there are no enemies nearby her, she will gain a stacking haste buff up to a maximum of 32 points. However, once an enemy does come near her, that haste buff will be reset. Next is the passive at top speed. For this one, every time she whips the gyro back, it's going to increase its speed. However, for every 5 seconds that it spins, or for every 6 times it hits enemies, it will be slowed by 1 speed. The 2 additional speed ratings are medium and high, both giving gradual increases in the damage it deals and also the magic pierce. Next is Sacred Totem. For this one, she's going to infuse extra power into the gyro depending on how many enemies are left. If there are fewer than 2 enemies left on the battlefield, then she will use Rockfall Totem, which launches the gyro to the enemy with the lowest health and bounces between them and herself, dealing damage to that enemy. However, if there are more targetable enemies on the battlefield, she's going to use Tornado Totem, launching the gyro at the area with the most enemies. This will pull them in and deal damage to them over the course of 4 seconds. Her signature item ability is Superb Technique. At base, she's going to gain additional insight and proficiency when the gyro is spinning at medium or high speeds. At level 10, while it's spinning at high speeds, she will gain additional insight on top of that. And at level 20, every time she whips the gyro, nearby enemies are going to be stunned for 2 seconds. And finally, at level 30, the gyro's spinning speed is only going to reduce by 1 level for every 8 times it's hit now. And with every hit, Vika's attack rating is going to be increased by 10% for 7 seconds, and this can stack up to a maximum of a 50% boost. Her furniture ability is Vortex Lock. For this one, if the gyro hits a stunned enemy, then for the next 6 seconds, any enemy it hits will be stunned for 1 second. Then at level 9, at medium and high speeds, each hit landed on an enemy deals additional damage equal to 90 or 180% of her attack rating, depending on the speed. As for her engravings, at level 30, the gyro will continue spinning after she dies, bouncing between enemies up to 10 times, dealing additional damage. Then, at level 60, when she uses her Tornado Totem, the enemy's hit will also have their energy reduced. Due to the way her gyro works, she really likes enemies to be well grouped up so that she can gain the maximum benefit. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the team of Tamaris, Jerome, Vika, Mulan, and Lavatune. First off, we have Tamaris. His role is to group those enemies to allow Mulan and Vika both to deal more damage. Then we have Jerome. He is here to buff the team, amplify our damage, but also provide a little sustainability to the team, which otherwise doesn't have much. Next is Mulan. She is one of the damage dealers in this team alongside Vika, and she is also a strong controlling unit who will lock out 3 enemies at the start of battle and then continue to lock out enemies as much as possible with stuns and knockups. Then Lavatune is here to be our primary buffer for Vika, allowing her to get more ultimates off and deal more damage. Now finally we have our Vika, and in this example she is at a low investment of 20 signature items, 0 furniture and 30 engraving, and this is because it's at a lower investment. She is still able to deal a decent amount of damage as a secondary damage dealer in this team alongside Mulan, which helps us achieve the victory. As for collections, we look towards Captive Wings. This one's going to mean that she can charm enemies after her ultimate, and especially in teams with high energy regeneration, it means we're going to be able to get this effect off a lot more and help the entire team survive by limiting what the enemies can do. So with all that out of the way, how far should we invest into Vika? Now this is a very interesting question because like all characters, she does get better the more you invest into her. However, with such a strong roster, she fills more of a niche role, and for this reason, having low investment on her is a fantastic way to still be able to get some use out of her, as none of her core functionality is locked behind serious investment. So for this reason, a 20 signature item, 0 furniture, and 0 engraving is actually perfectly fine. However, if you do have some excess investment to put out there, then you can go for a 20 signature item, 3 furniture, and 30 engraving. But once again, she doesn't need it, and she can work in a substitute role as a sub DPS at that low investment. So that is going to be it for one of the most unique maulers in the game. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.